Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your friend and your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. Did you miss me? I missed you. Now before we get on to the main topic, or should I say topics, I just want to begin with a celebratory anecdote. In just under 2 months, so on May the 6th, Star Wars Meg, my channel, turns 6 years old. I've been doing this for 6 years. It's been a crazy hell of a journey with some ups, with some downs, and I know I say this every year, but I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you who've been along for the ride. Whether you've been watching my videos for a day or a month, or for those of you who've been there since day one, I appreciate your support and I don't take it for granted. And if you've not done so already, please be sure to hit the big subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notifications, but no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. So we're going to begin with Disney hinting at the next Star Wars movie after 2027. The Mandalorian and Grogu is first this May, Star Wars Starfighter is next year, but what about afterwards? What is Dave Filoni planning behind the scenes? And is that movie going to be one of those that was part of the Kathleen Kennedy roster? Could we finally see the Lando movie? Is it going to be the first of the Kinberg trilogy? And a more important question, is it really going to be one film a year? Or are they going to spread them out? Well, it seems like they might have just given us a provisional, temporary answer to this question, but as you're going to see, things change, and I don't think Lucasfilm knows. So what did the House of Mouse just announce? They've given us placeholder release dates across the years 2028 and 2029. Now, while they don't specify what's going to be a Star Wars film, they do tell us what's going to be Pixar, and they tell us what's going to be Marvel Studios. So assuming they stick to this, we can use the process of elimination to make a reasonable guess as to what's going to be a Star Wars film and what isn't. And again, I can't stress this enough, Lucasfilm changes their minds all the time, and if the last few years are anything to go by, Star Wars movie schedules never go according to plan. The next 2 Star Wars releases have nothing to do with any of those announced at Star Wars Celebration in London. When Kathleen Kennedy presented the live-action showcase, she promised James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi, Dave Filoni's Mandoverse film, and the Rey movie. And instead, we're getting Jon Favreau's Mandalorian and Grogu, and Sean Levy's Starfighter. 2 movies that weren't even on the radar back then, and one of the only reasons they're doing the Mandalorian and Grogu was due to the fan response to Season 3. And so, the future of Star Wars announcements might depend on the performance of the Mandalorian movie. But for now they have this, February 18, 2028, untitled Disney movie. This isn't Marvel, and it isn't Pixar. I would be very surprised if this had anything to do with Star Wars, to be honest. If we're going off their most recent release dates, I'm looking for a May release or a December release, so I'm going to say not this one. June 16th, Incredibles 3, November 10th, Untitled. And because this is provisional, if Lucasfilm does want to slide something in maybe in December, then this will change. For the meantime though, there are no planned Star Wars films. Then we come on to 2029, and to be honest, there is only one date that screams provisional Star Wars title, May 25th. That to me sounds almost like a guaranteed Lucasfilm release date. I'd be very surprised if it was anything else. Like I say, Marvel isn't doing anything on that day. They seem to have hijacked May the 4th, official Star Wars Day, although some fans say May 25th is the OG Star Wars Day. You know, if we're looking at the Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter, those are both end of May releases. And since Star Wars seems to have abandoned December since the trilogy ended, I would say this might be something of a safe bet. My only question is, why is there nothing in 2028? Either that's going to be a gap year for Star Wars films, or they haven't yet decided which one is going to go into production. Is it Taika's film? Is it Lando? Is it Filoni's movie, Kinberg's trilogy, the Rey movie? Or is it going to be something entirely different? We heard recently behind the scenes that Dave might have started cancelling some of the Kathleen Kennedy films. Maybe he wants to start a clean slate, because The Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter are both Kathleen Kennedy produced. In terms of something brand new, that might be announced at Celebration. And if that's the case, unless production is starting pretty soon, I think it makes sense that the next movie after Starfighter is 2029. Once again though, my friends, this is all speculation. Fun speculation to be sure, but nothing is yet confirmed. But this does bring me on to something which I've heard, and have been hearing for over a year. This was a rumour recently making the rounds, and it's one which I trust, because it originates with a good friend, and it states that in addition to the Mall Show and other animated projects in the works, Lucasfilm is getting ready to announce a full feature-length animated movie, the first since the Clone Wars movie in 2008. And this rumour is nothing new, but it does persist. It's something I've been hearing for ages and ages, and if it's true, it's something in the background being worked on, and maybe that's for the best, that they don't overpromise and they don't announce it till the time is right. And if it's true, 2028 would be the best release date. It will have been 20 years since the first animated movie. But you know what? There is a chance none of these are for Star Wars films. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know if Dave Filoni has spoken to Josh D'Amaro about this, if Disney's been briefed about some kind of Lucasfilm provisional schedule, and if they have, we will be the last to know. There is one major change that I'm hoping is going to come with Dave, and that is sticking to release dates. Not overpromising, not constantly announcing projects, but rather just one or two at a time and ensuring they actually release on those dates. They can be as infrequent as they want, but it's time for them to stop jerking the fans about. Then of course I've seen fans hoping one of these dates is going to be for the hunt for Ben Solo, and all I have to say is for those of you who want this, who want more of Adam Driver, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you guys. I personally hope Steven Soderbergh does get to do something with Star Wars again. But is the hunt for Ben Solo uncancelled, and is it releasing in 2028? Those are extremely optimistic. Again, if you're hoping for it, I hope for your sake you get what you want, but I will caution to not expect it. And finally, my dear friends, one last thing for Star Wars films. Since my last video where I teased this, I went to see Project Hail Mary, and so far it's the movie of the year, my favourite sci-fi in a very long time. And I don't want to spoil it, but there was a kind of Mando-esque vibe to it. Found family, a man meets an alien, becomes attached to him, they fight to survive, and so on. There was very much a Star Wars undertone, but what everyone is talking about is the contribution of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. The original guys on Solo: A Star Wars Story who were fired by Kathleen Kennedy, and while Project Hail Mary was originally a book, against all the odds, because a lot of people didn't believe in them, these two managed to pull off something amazing with this film. And over the last 2 days, I've seen Star Wars fans who went to see Project Hail Mary and loved it ask the question, were we lied to about Solo? Was Lord and Miller's version better than what Kathleen Kennedy claimed? What if the Lord and Miller version was going to take more risk? While that is a possibility, the truth of the matter is more nuanced. Lord and Miller really frustrated a lot of creatives on set. Lawrence Kasdan didn't think they were honouring the script and the tone of it. They wanted Alden Ehrenreich to improvise, which wasn't really working out. The crew was exhausted, Kathleen Kennedy frustrated, and it just wasn't a good fit. So I think we should be cautious about being too revisionist. But what do you guys think? First of all, did you see Project Hail Mary? And what do you think the next Star Wars movie after 2027 is going to be? Share your thoughts down below, guys, and if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you always.